Happy Monday, y'all.
What's up?
What's
the
up,
lighting
guys?
coming in.
Warner's
Tony,
chat is the
Tony's
best
Tony's,
chat.
got the
Tony's
gun.
never
Tony's
in my
getting
chat. It's
aggro
all messed
off
up.
rip. That's what's up, Tony. I'll take it. What up, Dane and Matthew? What up, John? Good to see you guys. Noah.
Warner chat's the best chat. Yeah, look, check the lighting. Check the lighting. The camera's coming in fire right now.
Yours is G-Body?
Yeah.
Nice. Okay.
I'm moving on a week from tomorrow, so
Ooh,
finally have a better setup.
To your
on the
house,
phones.
Corey?
Yep.
Dude, I still haven't seen a picture of it in development. This is what Amazon's created for me. You can do the same.
I know. I've been slacking.
You're
on
lacking,
content.
bro. Do you have at least
I
like the
know.
progress pics?
I also just don't like flex. I don't like.
It's
talking
not a
about stuff
flex.
Like that. I feel like
Unless it's a massive house.
Well, it's not. It's a townhouse, so that's the thing.
No, townhouses are cozy.
Can't show front of the house either. That's dangerous.
Right.
Sweet. What up, y'all?
Let's go,
What up, Peyton? You're at UPS, dropping off some profit. I hope. Love to see it. If you guys are watching on the replay, Miles and I got the free class going down tomorrow night. The start of Q4, very important time. So we'll see you guys there.
What time is it?
7 p.m. Eastern time, of course.
We've been live for 1 minute and 15 seconds. We've already got the first Zuckerberg comment.
No, I think it's perfectly innocent too. I think it's genuinely just like another one.
Like
I think so too. I'm not gonna lie.
I like these.
As well.
These actually make me chuckle.
We haven't gotten one of those in a while on stream.
Oh, you have it. I have. Yeah, on stream,
we haven't seen a comment of that in a while.
Right.
What's the difference between brand ungating and category ungated? So, I mean, they're one and the same. The category, you have to submit pictures, but the essence of it is both the same. Submit the invoice, 10 units per product, and you're good to go. You can submit the brand for the category, but it doesn't work vice versa.
Questions about wholesale? Fire away.
Fire
away, man. Fire away. 10 FBA. Attaboy, Nathan. That's what I'm talking about. Good work.
Nice.
Good work. Seriously, good work. Awesome. They grow up so fast, man. Yeah, see, Nathan, now we got to see the updates on Twitter too, not just in the stream as well. Ooh, what do you do when you have 2 buy boxes? So that probably means you're on a non-Prime account and they're trying to get you to sign up for Prime, and it has like the FBM offer and the Prime offer.
Could also be the subscribe and save versus the non. I think I've seen that
true.
too. Yeah.
Yeah, completely true as well.
Yeah, there's sometimes they'll do like get it faster or willing to wait. I think is sometimes, and like one will be an FBM, one will be an FBA, or two. Sometimes both are FBA, but one of them just has a longer delivery time, probably because it's an FC transfer.
Yeah, I guess you technically could own both of them if it's like your FBM and your FBA.
Yeah,
I think I've seen that on like private label products before, actually.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's crazy on a private label, like on some listings, you'll see like, want it faster, willing to wait, and subscribe and save. And it's all the same seller, all 3 offers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
What's the minimum amount of orders do you require to list a product? For example, product's estimated sales is 1,000. There are 9 sellers. You jump on that listing, so you're estimated to sell. I mean, I could already tell you're starting to get too much into like the nitty gritty of it. The fact of the matter is, in terms of like validating a listing, what you're really looking for is that buy box rotation, right? You're trying to avoid any listing where it maybe sells 1,000 times and one seller is owning 99% of those, right? So you're trying to avoid any sort of like skewed listing in that regard. But anything where the buy box is up and down, offer counts up and down, you're going to be fine to just kind of test it out in the beginning, just to really kind of get your feet wet, right? But before you really have made any money on Amazon, it just doesn't pay to start trying to get to that level of granularity.
Also, here's a much simpler way to look at it too, right? Instead of thinking, well, it's selling X amount per month and there's this many sellers and do I buy it? Do I not buy it? It's like, how much profit is the product going to make you over a 30-day period? You got to determine, okay, how much profit do I want a product to make me? Let's say it's $200 and you're looking at a listing and you say, okay, based on the number of sellers and the times it sells, is this product going to make me $200 or is it not? Right? And if the answer is yes, you buy it. If the answer is no, you don't buy it. For me, my threshold is like 250, but that's the same thought process every time.
And that just gives you a super black and white, like binary room for just a yes or no. Right. And again, early on, you should only be interested in disqualifying products. Does Amazon own every sale? Is there a third-party seller that's owning every sale? Right? Is the buy box rotating? Are offers going up and down? Is it profitable? Right? All of those are disqualifying questions that you can just start to run through it really, really, really quickly. And you'll get really good at saying no. And ultimately, over time, once you get really good at saying no, you're going to find the really good ones even quicker. And that's kind of the key.
Yep.
If I'm products that are above 100% ROI, but unknown BSR and estimated sales, is it a good deal? It definitely could be. Again, kind of going with what
Most
we were
likely
saying.
no, but yeah, maybe.
You want to qualify, disqualify based on that sales rank, right? There's going to be a lot of products on Amazon that don't have a sales rank, that are kind of like null in that regard or unknown, but that sell, right? And kind of the single source of truth would that be with that would be in the offer count. Is the offer count going up and down? Is the price going up and down? More than likely, if there's movement in the buy box and the offer count, it's selling, right? And obviously you can validate that without needing a sales rank. But when we talk about, and especially if you follow my content a lot, I talk about like moats, right? Creating moats inside your business. That's one way, right? Using something that a lot of newer sellers skip over as an advantage for yourself. Same thing with no buy box, same thing with out of stock. A lot of those areas provide some sort of like a competitive advantage, a moat around that product, which may be why it's more profitable than what you're used to seeing, right? That pays for just having confidence in the aspect of Amazon that not many people do, especially getting going.
All right, this is a really, really good question here from Jenny. Can you explain ways to get product cheaper by getting gift cards, coupon sites like Retail Me Now? And I'm not sure how to calculate that in the product. Yeah. So for example here, right, if we take a look at these listings, for example, right here, right? So this listing's at 24. Say we find this for 13. I got the screen share going here. Yeah. Okay. So now I currently have 8% sales tax factored in my Seller Amp setting. So say this website took tax exempt here, I would take off 8% here. So I would multiply this by 0.92, right? Say there's a discounted gift card that's 6% off. I would multiply this by 0.94, right? Say there was a 10% coupon code, for example. I would multiply this by 0.9, right? Obviously, depending on that particular order, but that's just how you go ahead and calculate those. The only things you don't count into that, in my opinion, are cash back and rewards. So for example, like Rack Room Rewards has like a lit program, or Rack Room Shoes here has like a lit rewards program, right? It's like, I'm not going to count that in, but I'm going to redeem those on future purchases. But like this, for example, I would count in it. Right here, right? Because this is like a coupon you can just sign up for.
Yeah, basically. I mean, a good rule of thumb is like anytime there's tangible dollars going immediately into your business, account for them, right? A sale, a discount code, no sales tax. You can account for any of those, but anything that's sort of like delayed gratification, it's too risky to account for, right? Like years ago, before it was super mainstream, I know tons and tons and tons of people that would account for thousands of dollars inside their profit on a monthly basis. Problem is, God forbid, in 2-3 months, if your Rakuten account gets on hold, not even shut down, on hold, well, now you have $4,000 that you expected in terms of profit not coming back to your business, puts a strain on cash flow, and it just kind of ruins a lot of the clarity that you have in your numbers. And so what I would do is kind of like Miles was saying, just consider it like an owner's bonus. If that Rakuten comes in on the quarterly basis, whether you want to, take your family on a vacation, use it to buy something, put it back in your business, that's kind of your decision. But make it that decision, right? Give yourself the luxury of kind of qualifying that as an owner's bonus if you want to, and if you don't, put it back in the business.
Cashback feeds the soul. It doesn't feed the bank account. That's
Bang!
I'm coining that one. I'm coining that one.
There's a really nuanced wholesale question I want to touch on here. So somebody asked, "Hey guys, I want to partner to buy wholesale with another seller, but the supplier only wants to give one invoice in that seller's name. How do I show Amazon proof of purchase?" So in a perfect world, the supplier would invoice each of you guys individually. And so if you're saying that they're not willing to do that, it kind of gets hairy at this point, right? Because really the proper way to do it is the supplier invoices the other seller, and then that seller will invoice you in the name of their company. Now, Amazon is going to want to see, your invoice from them, their invoice from the supplier, and then you're going to need an invoice from the supplier to the brand, right? If that supplier doesn't have that, or if they're not willing to provide that, then this is a risky deal, and I wouldn't proceed with it.
Yeah,
right?
If they won't give you multiple invoice, they're clearly not interested in doing business with you long term too. Like that should be a money hungry.
In 2024, it's pretty much a requirement, and legit suppliers know that because they know how big Amazon is, and they've got big Amazon customers. So legit suppliers, for the most part, are getting on board, right? It's not like 2 years ago, it would have been outlandish to ask your supplier for their supplier's invoice. They would have laughed you off the phone. But in 2024, that's a legitimate request, right? So you want to get ahead of that too. You don't want to have to ask for it after the fact when you're scrambling. You want to try to ask that up front in a tactful way to know that they're going to want to be willing to work with you.
Plus, if you're dangling a big expensive PO above their head, like, hey, we need this, but we'll send you
Yeah,
40K on this.
it's
Like,
leverage, 100%.
like that's just what we need for this deal to go through.
That's a really
I saw
good
somebody
point.
asking earlier how to source products that are not some of the big like hard gated brands right now. Yeah, Michael, just go pop open the storefronts of people who sell a lot of the brands that we've been talking about recently, like Athletic Works, 32 Degrees, Stafford, anything like that, right? And then all the brands that they sell are going to be somewhat reseller friendly to you.
Someone was also asking about a prep center. Best way is to just be in with the community and just put it on timeline, put it on Twitter.
Yeah.
Right? You don't necessarily want, because I mean, a prep center is so important to the efficiency, the productivity, just like the overall health of your business. And so you want to validate it as much as possible. And so ideally you just use a prep center that one of your homies is already using, right? It's validated. You can interview 3, 4, 5 of them, maybe test out 2, 3, 4 of them, and then kind of go with whichever one is the best for you.
All right, very good question here from Beck in Action. Beck in Action's a rising star. We're working on we need the profile pic to be you, and then Twitter account rock and rolling. We can keep that natural trajectory going there and everything. But I've been getting denied purchase on Cardbear for suspect gift card fraud. That is completely and utterly 100% normal, and you need to contact customer service and join their bulk or more professionalized buying program, where you're going to provide your company info to them, which is not a big deal whatsoever. They just want to avoid money laundering, which is very reasonable. So they want to know who you are and why. It's true.
They're just they're just trying to make sure you're not
totally
spending
reasonable.
a stolen credit card or something like that.
Yeah.
Storefront's talking for hours. Can't seem to find any viable products. Yeah, Christopher, spend like 10, 15 minutes diving into like the homepage of different websites. See who has like the best like % off sales, that kind of thing today. And then like filter down to specifically that brand that you're seeing on sale a lot. Because you're probably just like kind of randomly clicking through. But if you figure out what's cheap today and then kind of niche down a little bit, you'll have a lot more success.
Yep. And also, too, just in general, any of you guys who are newer sellers who want to see what doing OA looks like from right off the bat and transitioning from OA to wholesale, I just posted pretty much a podcast I did with Michael and Peter, 2 of my OG coaching students who did 7 figures their first year OA and then completely switched over to wholesale these days. So you'll get a sense of like the entire lifespan of what Amazon selling done the right way looks like if you aspire to do wholesale.
Oh, is that P-dubs?
Oh, goat right there. Come on. What you know about
yeah,
that?
he's the man.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh yeah. When I put the buy costs into Boxem, should I put all FBA fees and sales tax? No need to put the FBA fees, but you are going to add the sales tax to your cost right there. Yeah. Which gets tricky because we talk about the context of seller amp sales tax basically and everything. But yes, add the sales tax in.
On that prep center location, let's say one of my friends is using a prep center, but it's pretty far away from me. How important? It's not super close. I mean, the whole point of a prep center is to not see those products, touch them, think about them. So you want them going, I mean, wherever there's no sales tax, because there's not really a scenario where you're going to have to, unless you want to like validate them and do a walkthrough, but there's not really a scenario where you're going to ever have to go to that prep center.
Can anyone reply? Yes, sir, Ahmed, we got you guys. So more seasoned sellers are scaling at least 10,000 of a brand's products. More in depth, say sell multiple items of that brand to get that. Yeah, I mean, you're really overthinking it, man. You just got to start selling some shit and you'll figure it out from there and everything. But theoretically, yes, but that doesn't really benefit you right now. What you need right now is most likely just a vast spread of different ASINs in small quantities, which is going to really nicely help you learn and just build the skill. Cause that's the important thing when you're newer.
Yeah, just cast a wide net, see what works, double down on what is. Like, yeah, don't worry about like specific number of products and all that kind of stuff.
So good question here. Using a prep center, do I need to change my address on the seller account so the invoices match the prep center's address? So not necessarily. Really, Amazon is going to be more concerned with your billing address on your invoice from your supplier. So as long as the billing address on your invoice from your supplier matches your business address, like your LLC address, then you're fine. The shipping address is not relevant.
Yep. Any retailer or wholesaler will work on that as long as it's legit. Doesn't matter there. Can you shrink wrap for liquid bottles? Yeah, you can. Usually you just throw it in a poly bag though. It's a little bit easier. Plus a lot of the bottles you buy, they'll come with like a tape over the top of it. You can buy that too. I think it's called like the gripper or something like that if you want to be super safe about it.
Can I do FBA, FBM at the same? Of course, yeah. That's one of the kind of like the little known facts, and something that's super useful, especially heading into now Q4 area, because you're going to want to be FBMing as much as possible, just because a lot of more markets are going to be more volatile than usual. So you want to be kind of taking advantage of the Black Friday prices, the Cyber Monday prices, those sorts of things, and being able to join the market without having to wait the 4 weeks.
Yeah, and you can do that on the same item, or you're just like your storefront at the same time, but you can even do it on the same item basis, which is a pretty good tip. I'm throwing locks in the private chat right now too.
Two good questions. Okay, go ahead.
Let's do ATLs here.
Yeah, so high MOQ for a product that doesn't sell that many per month. So if they have a high MOQ, just like anything, right? MOQ is negotiable. So I would just ask them, hey, if I were to buy X amount of units, right, what would that look like? And just try to negotiate that MOQ down. If they're firm on it and they're making you buy 6 months worth of stock, right, and it doesn't make sense, then just go on to the next product.
If you find a product that seems profitable, but on a site you never heard of before, how do you know? So if they have PayPal, that's a good indication that they're legit. You can use Trustpilot. But for the most part, if you could check out with PayPal, Google Pay, Apple Pay, they're not really, they're going to be legit because you have the backing of any of those.
How long does it take to find a good supplier? I've been looking every single day for months straight with no luck. I know it takes time, but I feel like I'm not even close. So really it comes down to like, what type of suppliers are you looking for, right? Like, do you have a criteria for what you're looking for, or are you kind of just reaching out to any and every supplier? My advice would be start with brands that are already selling well on Amazon. It's just way easier. So use a tool like Smart Scout, find 100 qualified brands, call those brands, and you're going to land probably 2 to 5 profitable accounts if you do just that, right? I've got tons of videos on my YouTube about what a good brand looks like, how to find them, and everything in between. So I'd say watch that content and then go put it into action. Shouldn't take you more than an hour or two to find probably 5 to 10 qualified brands that you can then go and call.
Because kind of like the essence of that, right? And if you think about wholesale, it's either a velocity problem or a profit problem, right? A price problem. And the cool thing is with what Corey was talking about, if you qualify and validate based on the velocity first, meaning you start with a brand that moves well, then map back, your price is always going to be more malleable than velocity, right? It's hard to move a product from 150K rank to like 50. However, it's a lot easier to get a $20 price point, maybe down to like a 17 or an 18. Whether it be more units, just adding more different SKUs, those sorts of things to your order, right? So like Corey was saying, if you start with a brand, even if you don't get the brand, a lot of times they will give you a recommendation of an authorized distributor that you can then go and buy from. You don't have to worry about proving authenticity with the sites that are a little more random. I mean, like I said, like PayPal is as legitimate of a backing as you could possibly have. That along with Amex, you're going to be good. Of course, you can use Trustpilot to kind of authenticate any site that you are interested in. But like I said, like don't overthink it. If you have PayPal as an option to check out, you're going to be fine.
What do you know about Amazon FBA in Germany? I believe Germany is a top 5 market. It's at least a top 10 market, I believe. Yeah, I think it's top 5 though. Right there, probably just barely behind.
Germany is top 2. I think it's like 1 or 2. Yeah, or not obviously 1, but yeah.
I mean, that's crazy. I mean, that's an animal offense right there. It's an animal offense right there.
Yeah, definitely replaces that.
Professional pocket watching here, right?
Yeah, you don't need that software anymore, Vigor.
Yep.
It's cheaper and faster for you.
Is it too? And my sales have gone down. I'm 99% FBM. Yeah. So for example, this is an interesting one because we don't really know exactly how Amazon's treating this stuff specifically, but this is very similar to some of those other metrics like late shipment rate and the kind of stuff where if you're doing FBM at scale, you unfortunately just end up crossing the line sometimes, and then Amazon typically doesn't do anything about it from our experience right there. But yeah, Paulina, test out a little bit and see what like how your specific settings are going. Maybe switch back to 1 day handling time and see. It's just going to be the kind of thing based on where you're specifically located, which we don't know in regards to how that's.
We also don't know like how it's actually going to shake out.
Yeah,
it seems like probably walk a little bit of it back just based on past changes we've seen. Can you create a new variation to an existing? You can. It's just generally not worth the effort because it takes a lot of like forcing it down main if you don't own the brand registry, basically. Strategy to avoid Voorhees letters. There's no like, just as long as you're looking at the products and you don't see like a bunch of history of them kicking people off like all at once, If they send you a letter and you don't ever see any history of them actually kicking people off the listing, they're just blowing hot air. Like you'll get a big collection of those letters.
Is it possible to use Pirate? You wouldn't want to. Just use VCO, whatever it's called.
Yeah, agreed.
VEVQO.
Agreed. Yeah. When can I use Box from the UK? Unfortunately, that's going to be a long way away. We currently don't have any plans of going in the UK, at least in the short term. Definitely long term, it's something to consider, but not currently.
Will Boxum tell you if there's any requirements to package an item?
So not currently, but in the new API, I think we're gonna have it in, yeah, which is kind of a
even still, like anytime there's cloth showing, you have to polybag it.
Liquid multi-pack if you're worried about it getting dirty.
If it's just a box, just throw a label on there. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, especially once you have like a couple months on your belt.
Got a strange email about country of origin. Any idea what this is about? Check. I'm pretty sure, Gina, it's going to be out about a specific item, not about like your store, for example. So I think you'll be chilling. Yeah.
Yep. Because you're able to estimate how much of a product will sell, how fast, how far ahead should you be buying product for? Yeah. A month is usually like the typical answer, but then I'll adjust up and down based on whatever other factors you're thinking about, right? So like come Black Friday, you're going to see some of the best prices you'll see all year. So you might stock up more than a month because if you just buy more, you'll be profitable for longer. On the flip side, like, if you're buying, I don't know, like shorts and that type of thing this type of year, you probably don't buy 3 months of a summer centric product, right? Or the price you expect the price. Maybe you expect a lot of people to be able to get it at that price. Maybe adjust down a little bit. It's just kind of up and down based on risk and stuff.
Your point is just like knowing particular niches and markets, it gives you such an advantage, right? Because if you've seen a couple sales cycles, right? You've been in the game a couple years. That's why experience compounds so heavily, right? Particular price points, right? Right. Shorts are at 17 for a sale. You have an idea in terms of like, all right, is this ever going to be lower than at this current threshold? And you could use that to kind of index out how much you're going to buy particular instances, right? Like a sale in 3 weeks, probably don't want to mortgage the house to buy all the inventory when Cyber Monday is around the corner, or Black Friday is around the corner. So it's just like you'll get used to sort of like the different cycles.
Yeah. Do we touch on Mateo's question here?
No.
Okay, Mateo, plug in 32 Degrees, Stafford, and Athletic Works. Plug in items for each of those brands, and I would be shocked if none of those worked. Yeah, you'll get more automatically as you sell more too. So like right now, the least of it will work as ever.
So when ordering the first product from suppliers, is it a red flag to ask for a test order? Did you guys already touch on that? A question?
You got it.
Okay. Because they have an MOQ. So it is kind of a red flag because it just makes you look like a newer seller, right? It just depends on how big of a difference between their MOQ and the test order that you want to place. Like if their MOQ is 10,000 units and you want to buy 20, then they're going to laugh you out of the room, right? So if it's appropriate, it's a negotiation. If not, like I said, it might just be best to either, go with a bigger order if you're confident in the numbers, or just work with a supplier that has lower MOQs.
That's facts. This is a good one here from Christopher. Should I have my seller amp settings set to FBA or FBM fulfillment type? Default to FBA, but be very prepared to scroll down to FBM frequently. Yeah.
Yep. I've been looking into something for the accounting side, trying to figure out exactly. Yeah, good idea, man. I mean, just like there's a lot of people that are running their business who have no idea what they're doing on the numbers side. So it's like bookkeeping, that kind of stuff. Like, talk to some of your Amazon seller friends and see what they're confused on the accounting side of things.
Yeah.
Once you get over like 10K profit, it makes so much sense to get a bookkeeper on here.
Yeah.
Look up bookkeepers for Amazon FBA and copy their offer too. Honestly.
Yeah, I think I was talking with Benson at ASD about that type of thing.
Ooh, lit. Yeah, that's where I would start, Benson. Yeah, and it just in general, put out some game, like write some threads about like mistakes you see people making with that kind of stuff and everything. I'm in the roadmap, but I don't know how to do FBM. I want to learn everything about FBM. What should I do? What specifically do you want to know about FBM, specifically Adi? Warner has a kick-ass FBM tutorial. I do as well, and we're happy to cover any specific questions you got too.
Yeah, look at the docs and the roadmap too. There's lots of stuff on FBM. You can like copy the shipping template and stuff like that.
Is seller amp already configured for all FBA fees? Just got my first profitable items for my new store. Let's go. So yeah, all FBA fees. Yeah, it's going to be directly pulled from Keepa and seller amp. Yep.
how many sellers are too many sellers on a listing doing wholesale, and what's your maximum? So there's really no such thing as too many. If the volume on the listing permits that many sellers, and there's really no such thing as too many. And I don't have a maximum, right? As long as I'm able to hit my monthly profit target, like I said earlier, about $250 per month at a good margin, then I'll keep replenishing it, even if there's 1,000 sellers on it.
What's the difference between FBM and FBA? Yeah, so FBM, you ship the item, you ship this camera directly to the customer. FBA, you ship a bunch of cameras in bulk to the Amazon warehouse, and then they fulfill the cameras directly for you. With FBA, you do pay FBA fees, but you don't pay individual shipping because you're shipping them in bulk. With FBM, you don't pay FBA fees, but you do pay individual shipping. Both of those are based on size and weight. So mathematically, for the most part, it ends up being a lot of the same stuff, typically.
One pro tip from each of you on getting brand approval for mom and pop brands and starting wholesale. So, I mean, my best tip would be figure out what their pain point is and see if you can help them fix it, right? For most brand owners, especially smaller to mid-sized brand owners, they're more concerned with their brand image on Amazon, how they're being portrayed, and a lot of other intangibles more so than just how much money you can spend with them. So figure out what they're struggling with and see if you can help.
Ooh, yeah, with any wholesalers, a lot of them are just be a professional. Like, don't put in a $400 PO. Don't ask for a 25% discount right away. Like, yeah, just be a professional business owner, and you'll be way more successful.
It's like, I feel like one of the biggest things that gets Amazon sellers laughed out of a room is like they send an email saying, "Oh, we're looking for pricing on a 100K order. Can you hook us up?" Then you get pricing, and then your first order is like 2,000.
Y'all hear about the Nike Get update yet? No. What's up, Chris, with it specifically? Yeah. Are you guys able to show how to turn on SellerAmp setting that automatically adds shipping costs? Sure. Yeah, let's do it here real quick. So we are going to go to selleramp.com in the top right, hit login, and then I'm gonna hit the drop down menu, and then I'm gonna hit screen share here. So, oops, my bad. Let's see here.
Yeah. In the meantime, Tyler was asking when you ship FBA, do you get paid when it sells or as soon as it ships? So you'll wait for it to sell, Tyler. They just warehouse it for you, basically.
Oops, I did this wrong here. Give me 1 sec. All right, there we go. Oops, right here. All right, there we go. Boom, right here. So there we go, right there. And then you want to add in your sales tax for the MISC fee. A lot of people add sales tax twice. They added it in the back end here and the calculator on SellerAmp, which you're not supposed to do. Only added in one of them. Right there, and then inbound shipping right there. So this is in your settings on selleramp.com. Nice and easy, nice and easy.
Yep. Good amount for a test order, like 5 to 20, depending on how fast it sells. Usually like 10. Yeah.
Yep. Guys, also too, tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern, we got an absolute banger Q4 kickoff live training going down. It's completely free, doesn't cost you a dime. Make sure you get registered for that if you haven't already.
Explain the account level reserve and seller essential. Yeah, Julie. So basically, you get paid 2 weeks after you actually make the sale. And when you're a beginner, sometimes it can be like 3.5 weeks or something because you get paid on a rolling 2-week basis. If that makes sense. It's just to cover any like refunds, anything like that. At least that's what they say. They're probably just short-term investing your money, but it's to make sure that you're not
yeah. If you want to get
like
more,
running away with a bunch of money or shipping bad products.
While we're on the topic of that, look up what fractional reserve banking is as well.
So the biggest issue y'all are trying to improve current scale. What does Q4 goals look like? I mean, yeah, just always trying to find like new sources. That's always the bottleneck, right? It's either money or products. Finding some new websites that don't cancel orders, that kind of thing.
Usually, yeah, for us, just keeping the best products in stock, right? Like that's most sellers could probably tell you like 20% of their products account for 80% of their profit. And if you can just keep those 20% of your products in stock, you'd make so much more money because at most times, right, a seller's out of stock on, one of their top 10 products or 2 or 3 or 4 or worse. And that just, you lose a lot of money that way.
That's facts. Yeah, Jake, check that out. We all have links in our description on that. Why can I never find products cheaper than what they're sold for on Amazon? I've been looking everywhere and have had no luck. Look up, I mean, honestly, it's for the most part, like unless you're looking at listings Amazon sells themselves, it's going to be pretty hard to find items where it's being sold for more than what what it's sold for on Amazon. Basically, Christopher, look up really if you just go to like a 32 degrees listing and open up all the storefronts from there, you're going to find unlimited examples where the items are significantly cheaper than where they're on Amazon, because Amazon doesn't sell that brand themselves, or a lot of brands for the most part. And then every single item you look up outside of like the small minority of them are going to fit that criteria. Ooh, see, this is the most W comment we've ever had here. You're absolutely right. Yeah, the boys are getting more sophisticated here, folks. Appreciate you, man. Boys again, we're growing up a little bit here and there, man. Appreciate you.
Oh, love it.
Yeah, I don't know. You just keep it moving, you know.
Garrett turned on the sun behind him.
Yeah, I got
good lighting.
Wait, crank it up again. That's wild, man.
Bro.
Hey,
yeah, you got the sun chilling behind you today.
Yeah, cool. All right, so appreciate everyone tapping in tonight. Make sure you join us tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern, for the free live training. We'll see you guys there. Get a Q4 getting kicked off and everything. Appreciate all you guys tapping in. We got literally, this is probably like the 57th Monday in a row. We did miss one, I think, for ASD Monday we've had, and everything. Let's get after it, y'all. Appreciate y'all. Hope you have a great day. Follow these guys on socials. Check out the new video I posted too. It's a really good like podcast style. And Warner posted a kick-ass podcast style video today too. So y'all check that out as well. Be great.
See you guys.